Hello everyone, it's Queen Line back to you with another video. This video is an update in the Kei'Mani Latigue story. Before I begin, I would like to extend my condolences and support to the family and community at this time. According to reports, attorneys for Darnell Jones Ogletree, the father accused of unaliving his 13-year-old daughter, Kei'Mani Latigue, filed a motion in the Lucas County Common Areas Court to suppress evidence obtained during a March search of Jones Ogletree's home and car. Kei'Mani Latigue disappeared in March and then was found SA and unalived in an abandoned house in Ohio. The search warrant conducted on March 21st, 2025, authorized officers to seize a pair of girls' yellow underwear with blue lace allegedly stained with blood, a plastic mat from the rear of a red Ford Explorer, and a pair of men's muddy boots. The defense attorneys argues that the affidavit supporting the warrant failed to establish probable cause, violating both the U.S. and Ohio's constitutions. The only factual basis offered in the affidavits are hearsay statements made to Detective Mooney by Dorothy Latigue and Nina Turner, and standing alone, they do not support a finding of probable cause, the motion states. Dorothy Latigue, Kei'Mani's grandmother and legal guardian, told detectives that the underwear went missing after Jones visited her home. She also stated that she pointed out to the pair of underwear to Darnell Jones as concerning. After Darnell Jones Ogletree left the residence, Dorothy went to gather the underwear and they were no longer there. An affidavit cited in the motion states the defense challenges the reliability of this claim, noting there is nothing to corroborate Miss Latigue's belief that Mr. Jones removed the underwear from her home. Nina Turner, Jones Ogletree's partner, also provided information to detectives. The affidavit reads, Nina Turner told detectives that Darnell Jones Ogletree was observed removing a plastic mat from the rear of the listed red Ford Explorer, rolling it up and storing it under the basement stairs with a pair of muddy boots. Defense attorneys argued that Turner's statements lack clarity and specificity. On its face, the affidavit does not suggest or support that Miss Turner observed Mr. Jones removing, rolling, or storing the mat and the boots herself. The motion cites multiple legal cases, including Illinois versus Gates and United States versus Leon, to argue that the warrant was based on speculative and conclusory statements rather than concrete statements. Under these circumstances, the affidavit failed to establish probable cause for issuance of the warrant, and consequently, the warrant was invalid and any evidence seized or recovered must be suppressed. A court hearing on the motion has been requested. The court will determine whether the evidence can be used in the trial. The next hearing was held on October 8th, 2025, in which the defense attorneys for Darnell Jones Ogletree cited a new deadline to raise any potential defense for Jones Ogletree's mental health or intellectual status, court filing stated. The defense attorney has to raise the matter of serious mental health illness, intellectual disability, and any other related claim, defense, or related condition at the time of the alleged commission of the offenses charged in this case in writing by October 30th, 2025, or will be barred after the legal permissible extent the judge's order read. If Jones's attorneys want to pursue a not guilty by reason of insanity defense, they'll need to file with the courts within the next few weeks. He previously pled guilty to more than a dozen charges, which include aggravated homicide 4 counts, SA 2 counts, kidnapping 3 counts, aggravated burglary, endangering children 2 counts, gross abuse of a corpse, and 2 counts tampering with evidence. Jones Ogletree's capital homicide case is scheduled to begin in late April 2026, but is subject to change if further court proceedings warranted. Before I begin with my commentary, I would like to again extend my support and condolences to the family and community of Kei'Mani Latigue. These are my thoughts. Darnell Jones Ogletree and his attorneys are trying to find anything, and I mean anything, to get this man a lesser charge. In my previous videos, I pointed out how the judge warned Jones's attorney, does he need an evaluation? And they kept on saying no. The attorney would go on to state, I can tell the court with complete confidence that at 3:28 p.m. on July 2nd, Jones understands the nature of the proceedings and is a willing and active participant and useful in his own defense, with the defense stating they will file for extra attorney in the case. So what occurred from July up to October 8th, 2025? You notice how they are playing the system? We've already talked about Ogletree's alleged mental health history. And the judge even pointed out to the defense, you guys, I think it's best that you guys should do the mental evaluation, only for them to bring it up at the very last minute prior to this case going to trial next year, April. So again, playing these mental gymnastics while this baby, who is 13 years old at the time, is no longer here because persons are not paying attention, and the defense attorney thinks this is a game. It's not a game. Ogletree is a danger to other people. He had no business being around Kei'Mani Latigue, let alone being around other people. There have been reports of Ogletree's destructive behavior to the point where neighbors saw his destructive behavior in real time. And yet he was given a slap on the wrist and not given true time in prison or jail. he was let out every single time. The system failed Kei'Mani Latigue. The system failed the community once Jones Ogletree was released back to the public. There was no probation. There was no assessment or assistance to getting Ogletree help. So now we are at the point where we are weaponizing and using mental health as a defense, even though the judge asked the defense attorney multiple times, giving them multiple opportunities to getting Ogletree his evaluation, and they kept on saying no. So why are they holding up the court proceedings by now trying to bringing this up once again and trying to nitpick on statements made by said partner and said legal guardian? I think everyone can agree on this. Kei'Mani Latigue is no longer here. Kei'Mani Latigue should have turned 14. Kei'Mani Latigue should be living her best life as a teenager. And we are playing these word games because her father allegedly took her out and now is trying to weaponize his said mental health after the judge pointed it out multiple times. So why are we bringing this up in October when we addressed it back in July? This is why the system needs to hold itself accountable, because if the judge kept on asking, why are we bringing it up today? Why are we bringing it up in October? Possibly pushing back the court case from late April to the summer, potentially. We must do better. And I hope the prosecutors are taking this seriously and filing their own motions to blocking this foolishness. We must have these unfortunate conversations, because if we remain silent, they will continue and we will continue to see the same results. According to Black and Missing Inc. in 2023, an estimated 706 persons of color were reported missing. Of that group, 162,755 were under the age of 18. Yet, missing minority children are grossly underreported in the news, which means it is our responsibilities when these news flashes of missing persons, regardless of age, comes across our social media feed. It is up to us as the user to be mindful of the misinformation, disinformation, aka lying, as it does affect the missing persons case, and it does affect their loved ones and community members who are waiting for their safe return home. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week is critical to a missing persons case. We must get back into the habit of looking out for thy neighbor. I will leave in the comments and description below for organizations and hotlines as it pertains to missing persons cases, in addition to child mistreatment and child neglect hotlines. And as always, find our people, protect Black children, known and unknown. Say their names. Say her name. Kei'Mani Latigue. justice for Kei'Mani Latigue. And as always, please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.